Hello, everyone. Stephen from People's Depot Podcast. I am so happy to be here. I am so glad that I'm with you again. You know, I hadn't been on the show much. We did so much with our studio. We had to upgrade the internet. I mean, what we were doing as far as we wanted to have a robust internet system so that we can have clear videos, we can download and upload without problems. I mean, stuff was freezing on us and it was just too much information. So we took a lot of time to really put money into our studio so that we are able to bring to you information that's going to help you and your loved ones. And I'm happy to be here. You all have done a great job with allowing me to come into your home and share what we have to help you to either grow your business, expand it, or even start it. Because as we've always told you, People's Depot is about helping people grow their business. We use insanely profitable niches, world-class training, and phenomenal resources. And today we're going to talk about one of those niches. And it's in the subject of healthcare or wellness. Now, people today want good health. People today want to be able to enjoy their lives. They don't want pain. They don't want sickness. Now, we don't have a magic bullet where we can just eliminate all that. But we do have something that can really help people have a greater quality of life. And that is the stem cell patch. Now, I've been involved with a collaboration whereby I've been able to actually get a product that's actually a patch that activates your own stem cells and allows you to grow your own stem cells within your body. So what that means is that you're not having any reaction from stem cells being injected because they're not injected. So the body doesn't have to fight any foreign invaders. You're not having a situation where your body is compromised, and it's not something where there's medicine that's induced. It's nothing like that. It's all about light therapy. And through this light therapy, this patch is able to activate your own stem cells. And so that's what we're going to be talking today. And by the way, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The People's Depot. Give us a good like and hit that bell because it helps us to grow. It helps us to be able to bring more enlightening information to the masses. So please like our YouTube channel. Now, we do have a guest today, and her name is Stephanie Seeley. And what she's going to do is she's going to share her experience with using this particular product. Now, you may have seen this product on my website. Maybe you looked at some of the phenomenal testimonials. What I'm doing is I don't want to just share testimonials that other people have gathered. I want to share testimonials that people have directly worked with me so that I can share them with you and you can see the benefit, even though the testimonials that you see on the site are real and they are phenomenal. Sometimes it's not the same unless you're doing it yourself. And so I want to share this testimonial with you. So Stephanie, how are you doing?
I'm great, Stephen. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. So you've had some health situations over the years. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your health.
Well, it all started back in 1929. And No,
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
joking. Just joking. Actually, it all started a few years back. Just walking downtown, I tripped over a piece of concrete, wrenched my back, trying to catch myself, and did a little bit of damage to it, I guess. But not enough for the doctors to really do anything. They were
Okay.
like with massage therapy, maybe see a chiropractor to crack my back, things will heal itself. So I did that. I went, got massage therapy. I didn't go chiropractor. It wasn't that bad. I decided to go to acupuncture because it heals. Acupuncture is a form of healing naturally. And actually acupuncture helped. It did a good job at healing my back. Um, but it didn't heal it. It just did a good job at it.
Okay.
So, as time went on, I was just in misery. It got to the point where actually my son had to actually help me just get around the house because it hurt so bad. So it drove me to find something else. So I said, okay, the doctors aren't really seeing anything. My acupuncturist is like, it'll take time, but I'm still miserable. And being an executive assistant, you sit all day, that did not help at all.
Got it. Got
So
it.
I heard about the stem cell patches and I thought about it, but I was kind of leery. I didn't know if that's really the way I wanted to go. I was like, there's no way you can put a patch on me and it's gonna help. That's just, poppycock, whatever. Give me a needle, give me some drugs, give me something that modern medicine tells us and it'll help. Nothing like just put a patch on it and it's gonna work. Mm-mm. Got so bad one day, I was like, look, give me a patch. So I said, I'm gonna try it. Modern medicine still had nothing for me. So I said, I'm gonna try it. I put the patches on, and initially, me and the patches had a problem because they didn't like me, I didn't like them. And it was all because of placement. You got to put them in the right spot. So once I figured out what the right spot was, I couldn't believe the response. It was as if my back thanked me for finding something finally that could
Really?
help it because I was sitting down and all of a sudden I was like, oh, let me sit up for a minute. I'm hurting, but I'm not like in pain.
Okay.
And I don't know how to explain it. It was like I'm hurting, like an ache, but I'm like, you know what? You can actually get up and you can walk, and you're not want to just sit down and take an aspirin or anything. It's there. My back is like it's there. Oh, it's there. Don't think it's not there. It's there, but you can deal with it. That was day one. That
Okay.
was just immediately on day one. I felt it. So
Okay.
I said, okay, I'm gonna take the patch off. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take this patch off because you can wear it for a certain amount of time. And my back was like, no, 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 no. Put that back on. Put that back on. Because we're not happy. We were happy a minute ago. We're not happy now. I'm like, but I can't. So went to sleep, but I was eager. So the next morning when I awoke, I was like, I'm gonna put these patches on. Put the patches on, went to work. Next thing I know, I'm bouncing around the office. I'm happy. I'm sitting, doing my job. I'm like, well, you know what? Let's take a walk. Let's stretch this thing out. So I stretch my back out and I'm like, I'm walking and I'm thinking, oh, this cannot be. I said, nah, mm-mm. I'm still not. I'm not sold. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm not sold. Took the patches off. My back's yelling at me. It is vocal at this point. Please don't do that. Put it back on. I'm like, no, gotta wait. Third day, I said, this cannot be happening. This is the third day wearing the patches, and I'm not feeling an ounce of pain. Just a little stiff. Just a little stiff. I said, okay. So I wasn't sold just a bag of goods. I was actually sold a therapy for this pain. And I couldn't believe it. And I'm one of those people that's like, I don't spend money on just anything. If anything, it's not going to be someone selling me light in a bottle or something that they say the sun produces, or a wave something. Because if you really, you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. No. You put the sun in a
Oh my
patch. No,
goodness.
you're not going to get me. Mm-mm.
Oh.
I'm so for real. I was like, I'm not buying this. Next thing I know, I'm like, hey, Steve, can I get another set of those patches? And I'm like, what kind of mess? I done bought the little sun in a bottle. I can't believe I did that because it so worked. Now, let me tell you, acupuncture is not cheap. Every session.
I know. I've been having acupuncture. I had
Okay.
it. Yeah.
And it's not cheap. So I was paying a lot of money for acupuncture when these patches actually got me up and going. I didn't have to go sit on a table, and I didn't have to get somebody to put needles in me. No, you just take the patch off, put the patch on, and take the patch off. I don't have to do any of that. So I was sold. And I was sold because my body was sold. And understand, I bought the patches initially because of my back pain. But come to
Hmm.
find out, I had knee surgery years ago because I fell off a stoop, tore my meniscus in my knee. They had to take my meniscus out of my knee. And that knee, oh my goodness, if anybody understands anything about arthritis and weather, my knee is it's more accurate than Channel 7 News. It can tell you tornado coming. That knee is gonna act up. It's about to rain. That knee is gonna tell it. It tells the weather accurately. And I'm like, hmm. Now my back is feeling good. Now this had to be about maybe a month or two into the therapy. And I realized, okay, my back is feeling good, but did you notice you could walk pretty good too? Wow.
So how bad were you walking?
Well, let me tell you, I have arthritis really bad in my right knee because as I was working with this left knee that had the meniscus torn out of it, the doctors explained to me. Now, keep in mind, I went to the doctor, so
Okay.
let's dispel rumors. Let's just put it on the table. I went to every doctor there was.
Okay.
So I developed extreme arthritis in my right knee because it bore the brunt of the weight from the left knee.
Okay. Okay.
So the way the doctors explained it to me is that I had severe arthritis in my right knee, but I had moderate arthritis in my left knee because my right knee was basically holding me up
It was doing
because
the work of both knees.
exactly. So I'm snap, crackling, popping every day. They pop, they ache, I used to fall off them because the right knee was taking so much of my weight. And just miserable, just miserable. So I didn't want to be on painkillers for the rest of my life. I didn't want these therapies for my knees for the rest of my life. I just couldn't. I just was like, forget it. I'll just endure. So when I went to get these patches for my back, I didn't realize my knees were being affected by it, and it was such a positive that I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And I also do work on the side where I have to get in and out of the car all the time. So imagine you're driving, getting in and out of the car, your back hurt, your knees hurt. You just want to basically give up because there's nothing there. And the doctors are like, well, there's nothing we really do with arthritis. I mean, you just have to go look at television, pick a pill. Just pick a pill, take it. That was the suggestion for me.
So basically, you've helped the pain with your back.
Mm-hmm.
You've helped inadvertently help the pain with your knee.
Exactly.
Now, if you could not have helped that pain with your knee, would you been able to have that second job giving you that second income?
No, because I would have to come home and basically ice my back, heat my back. I wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
Okay.
My back just would have stopped it all.
Okay. Okay. So that is significant
Mhm.
because it wasn't just pain of discomfort. We're talking about something affecting your livelihood.
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
deep. Now you know, you kind of briefly mentioned that. I didn't know it had gotten that detailed. And as a matter of fact, I'm so glad that I was able to share that with you, because stem cells has been a big thing. In fact, I wrote a book, and when I say I wrote the book on stem cells, I wrote the book on stem
Mhm,
cells. And so
mhm.
this book, Stem Cells: The Future of Health Restoration, it talks about various stem cells. It talks about various treatments so that people can make an informed decision. Now, just so the audience know, what I did is I took 300 pages of published article and put them into a 58-page book. The reason I did it that way, because the average person simply is not going to pick up stem cell book and read it. They're not going to do it. But if they know it can help their health and they want to get knowledge, they can do it very quickly. I also have an audio version of the book. It's only about an hour long. So it doesn't take much to really get yourself really informed about stem cells and the various products or the various treatments. I shouldn't say product, but treatments for stem cell. But it also includes the patch therapy as a treatment as well. So that is in this book. So, and this book can be gotten on Amazon. The link to this book will also be in the description underneath this video. So I want to let you know that that will be there. Now, Stephanie, one of the reasons, again, I wrote this book, as you know, I've been in the healthcare industry, and I've seen some things that were, I have nothing bad to say about healthcare. I'm not going to do that because what people don't realize is medicine is a practice.
Mhm.
It really is. When they say you're practicing medicine, they're
Yeah.
practicing
Yeah.
medicine. But you have to practice to find solutions.
Mhm.
Now, sometimes, you have certain parts of the medical industry that don't practice or try to find solutions because they're making money. Everybody knows that. But I'm not picking on anybody because there are a lot of great accomplishments through our medical system. I mean, people come to our country because of our medical system. So, there must be something right. But there's just some things for certain people, whether it be groups of people or certain types of injuries, illnesses, that the medical profession does not zero in on. Now, sometimes that's because of funding.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of money to zero in on certain illnesses. And so I recognize that, and I knew from my research that stem cells were the solution. So the magic bullet is not in any of the various stem cell treatments, whether it be stem cell patch or whatever treatments that you will read about in this book. The magic is in the fact that the stem cells, which is part of your body, is what's doing the repairing, is what's doing the healing. The problem becomes with a lot of various treatments, you're introducing something foreign into your body. Something you get the stem cell when they implant stem cells or whatever they put in, that's something foreign, and your body attacks it. The patch actually allows your body through light therapy. And when I mean light therapy, the same chemical reaction that allows the sun to give you vitamin D is the same chemical reaction that is used through a patch through certain frequencies within the patch that actually activates your stem cell. There's no medication put into it. Nothing like that. Is non-transdermal, so there's no medication. There's no implants or anything. Yeah, you put it right on outside your body, on your skin. You can even put it on your clothes. and it will work. So now you've eliminated foreign invaders in your body, but you got the potential stem cells. And so that's why stem cells help with rapid pain relief. It reduces inflammation. If you have wounds from sports or surgery, it heals that, gives you energy, vitality, mental clarity, enhances your ability to play sports, enhances your ability to exercise, because you can heal faster from exercise using the patches, because the stem cells will actually, as you're tearing muscles and you get that pain, the stem cells will actually do the healing so that you can recover from the pain. And it actually helps with collagen, improves skin, no wrinkles. And in some people, it's actually helped to grow their hair. Now, the patches that you've been using, and this is what I want the audience to know, David Smith, who is the CEO of LifeWave, did not just magically come up with this. They did published studies over 20 years. So this is not just a thought. They proved it. The same type of studies you do in the medical arena, and they have their own lab that they do this in. The same types of studies you do in the medical arena is what they did. The same studies. So it's not, it's there we have it. That is why they're FDA approved as a medical device. So you don't get that unless you're doing something like that. So this is not just a thought that's come about. This is not pie in the sky. This is actually something real. But the key is, finally, there's something out there that gets our body to heal us without medication, without anything other than the natural resources that are God given to us in our body. So stem cells, which is why I wrote the book, because people understand. Once you understand what stem cells do, you'll see why this is so effective, which is why I wrote that. And so there's a process. The first day, your body begins to renew 3,000 to 4,000 genes into a younger state. Then in 1 to 3 months, the stem cells start activating and increasing the collagen in your skin, reducing wrinkles, in some cases, like I mentioned, hair growth. And in 3 to 6 months, those stem cells start turning into whatever cell your body needs to start doing repair. We're talking about a whole bunch of construction cells just going in there, repairing everything. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it does. But one of the things that was most effective that I found, they did a study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by 8 years in just 6 months of using a stem cell patch. That's huge. That was a study. And so I've read a lot of the published studies. I did all that. A lot of the items that are in this book are, I actually put references, links to where I got the information from. Now, it's not just stuff from LifeWave. I didn't do that. I got stuff from, top known research centers, hospitals, things of that nature. So I did that so that people can see it. I'm not conjuring this stuff up. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to call it a movement in my body. It's just a thing where I gotta let people know. And I am really, really, I'm impressed with stem cells. I'm impressed with the products, no matter what they are. But I know that patches is the best way to go, because it's not $10,000 for a treatment. It's less than a cup of coffee a day. So I know that this can help. And so I've been wanting to put it out there, which is why I wrote the book, which is why I'm so happy you're here with Testimonial, because I want people to see testimonies. And if you notice, I didn't give you any script or anything, did I? You don't have a script. So I don't do anything script. I don't even have a script for myself. Sometimes I may have a few notes or whatever, but I want people to see this is real. Now,
and it's real. It's very real.
Great. I'm glad you said that. I talked about some of the things about the inflammation, the pain relief, energy and vitality, mental clarity, enhanced sports performance, better exercise. Is any of these things that have helped you even more so? Because I know you talked about pain. Now, when you talked to me, it was just pain with your back. It wasn't knee pain or
Correct.
anything like that. It was just pain with your back.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that's all it was. And
Mm-hmm.
just so you know, you're saying some of the same things. A lot of I'll have other testimonials that are pretty much said that all of a sudden they realized, oh, this is happening. Is anything else happening?
And see, that's the whole thing about the patches. I really began this journey because I wanted to be able to get up and go. I knew my knees were a wreck. So it was just years and years and years of that. That's old news. But the back was new news, and I had to get that rectified.
Gotcha.
But there was a side effect to the patches that I didn't know existed.
Okay.
And that
Now you didn't
side
tell me
effect,
about this. Tell me that.
well, the side effect was that mental clarity. I
Okay.
didn't realize that I was healing the pain, but mentally I was coming back to myself. And you may ask, like, what do you mean he was mentally
Yeah,
coming back?
I want to know what you mean coming back to yourself.
Right.
I
Where
know you a
yourself
long
go?
time now.
Yourself went where? Where'd yourself
Yeah.
go?
Hey, you still look the same to me. I don't.
Right. But I lost myself along the way.
Okay.
Uh,
In what way?
about 5 years back, I had 2 strokes,
Okay.
and that led to me having heart surgery to repair a hole in my heart. So
Okay.
my poor body has been through a lot.
Okay.
So when I tell you I was leery about the patch, when I say it was like sunlight in a bottle, I really thought of it as sunlight in a bottle. Like, as much as I've been through, and as many times as I have been under medical care, I was really skeptical about that because strokes are a different beast in and of itself.
Okay.
It's been about 5 years, and through those 5 years and through the pandemic, all that, it just, oh my goodness, it just took my mental into a dark place because with strokes, you don't really realize um, mentally, you don't really realize how mentally off you are from where you were before you had the strokes. If that's if you could understand.
Okay.
They put you in I speak to them as if they're almost like a person. My strokes, they're like they when I speak to they're the strokes. They put you in a just a mental fog that is not like most people say, oh, I'm just in a fog right now and I could pop out of it. You just don't pop out of it. And you kind of remain in that place. And I know most people can't understand where that place is or how you get there or how you remain in it unless you've been there. But that side effect of mental clarity had to come from the patches because I was speaking to someone else and they said, you know, you kind of different. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? It's like you quicker now. You're with the words, you kind of understand a little bit better. And as I mentioned before, as an executive assistant, just sitting, but you have to always and I'm grateful to my employer because they stuck with me through this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you always have to be on your P's and Q's always. And I would be on my P's, but them Q's was lacking. And I knew it. I knew it.
Oh my
I
goodness.
couldn't figure out though
Oh,
how to regain the rest of my Q's.
I
I
just
had
don't
the
know.
P's down pat. Q's
Oh
was
my
lacking.
goodness.
So as I'm taking these patches, I'm not only do I have like this energy to go, but I'm like, huh, I'm quick on it. I'm so quick. I'm listening to things and they make sense now. And I'm going, huh. And even my children are like, I don't know what happened, but some kind of way she thinking again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We can't just say stuff and get around it no more. She catching it. And I'm like, my daughter just said something to me just the other day, and I'm like, oh, I caught that one. And she's like, huh, hmm. Okay. Yeah. She getting it.
She can't get away with it no more.
She
Huh?
can't get away with it. And I realized even at work, they're like, you are sharp. I said, well, I've always been that way. I just lost it along the way. And I know stroke victims especially stroke victims that have survived,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially two strokes back to back. That's a survivor's tale right there. Like many people don't survive it. Put it that way. I was told that to my face in the hospital. Like, wow, you actually made it. That wasn't a nice thing to say to someone,
Really?
but it was in a way because I didn't realize at that moment how how strokes really can take you out. I don't know. I'm not a stroke doctor. I'm not that. But I realized that now I can I like to write and I can write and it makes sense. I can look at a book, read it, and it makes sense now. And I'm
Okay.
seeing that mental clarity. And even my 87-year-old mother is like, okay, you're actually something's different. Like you're really making sense now. Like you you just said that? I'm like, yeah, it made sense. She's like, it came out a little different this time. It used to be a little, and understand I didn't like to be around people at all. That's my main thing. People scare the life out of me.
When did
Yeah.
that happen?
That
Was it
happened
after the strokes?
that happened immediately after the strokes. I
Okay.
couldn't like I really almost became a recluse if it wasn't for my family members pushing me to like they won't hurt you. A person in a wheelchair will not hurt you. Trust me. They're suffering too. And I could not get that. I had really good friends that would stick by me and be like, no, we can walk down the street. People are not going to get you. And it was just something from the strokes that mentally had me thinking just crazy things. And it's been 5 years, and all these years, I have come out of it to be able to live my life. You would not know I had strokes. You would not know I'm mentally afraid of people. You would not know. But now it's to a point whereas I can actually walk into a restaurant and not want to bolt out of there real quick or cry.
Okay.
And it has totally opened. And I'm not going to say that to blow smoke in any kind of way because I have lived this life and it's been sad for me. But for some reason, and I've not been on the patches a long time, but for some reason, it's just so bright in my mind. It's just bright. I can see things just so much clearer. And I really would hope that other people who've been where I've been can get something like that to stimulate their minds to just be open. And it's not a high or, people be on drugs and they be like, oh, I see, lights and rainbows. It's not like that at all. It's simple. I can see the postman and I understand he's walking down the street and he's having a great day. Or I can see the postman walking down the street and he's not having a good day. I can differentiate that now instead of, oh,
And you
that's just
couldn't
the postman.
differentiate that before?
Mm-mm. It would be, Joe, that's just the postman. I don't care. I don't see it. But now I can see it. It's just, it's just so clear.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm glad you shared that because obviously I wouldn't have known. I, I mean, I've never had a stroke, not to my knowledge.
Mhm.
So
No
I've
one
never really
knew. No one would
felt
know.
that
I
way.
hide it very well. No one
Yeah.
would know.
Wow, you do, and I've known you for a long time.
Yeah, very well.
so, so you do hide it well. I didn't realize that. So,
Hmm.
and but I'm glad you shared it because I hope maybe one of my audience will see that, recognize that, and maybe they're experiencing the same thing. and
I
they know how
hope
they can
so.
get some help because I didn't know. I knew about the pain and the back pain. I did know that you'd had some knee surgery. It actually slipped my mind, but I didn't know you were experiencing difficulty with your knees. Um, but I'm glad to hear that that's helping. And the mental clarity, I know for a fact stem cells will actually help with that. I just, you
And
know
I
how you
didn't
know
even
something
know.
that works?
I
You
didn't
know,
know about the mental clarity thing.
yeah.
It just popped up one day and I was like, Mom. She was like, what? For
So
real? Like the lights are on. And she was like, what?
in the book, I mentioned a lot about what stem cells can do, especially as it relates to actually the past, because that's when I start talk. I mean, I talked a lot about stem cells throughout and what they do and their benefits. But when it got to the patches, I started talking about some very specific things because that information was what people were experiencing that was dealing with those patches. That's why I had to speak about it at that
Mm,
point. So that
okay.
was the reason why. So mental clarity was definitely one of them. And in my mind, I knew about the mental clarity. Well, mental clarity means a whole lot of things
Hmm.
to me. Um, but you clarified some things in relation to having a stroke, things of those nature. I'm glad you did because I would have never really talked about that particular aspect. So I haven't experienced it, you
Hmm.
know, and that's why
And you
I
don't want to
re-
experience it.
and yeah, I know you're right. I don't want to experience it, but that's why I want my audience to be. I don't. I don't usually prepare them. When you came on for this video, this is the first time we talked. As you came
Hmm.
on for this video, we
Hmm.
spent 5 minutes to talk about it.
Hmm.
And I do that on purpose because I think the first response is always the best response. No matter how crazy, how silly it may look, I think it's always the best response because I want my audience to see real people. I don't want them to see actors. I get some actors.
Hmm.
I don't want them to see actors. I want them to see real people because they are real people. And so when they see from real people what this can help them do, then that's how I want them to benefit. And I'm going to do a review on LifeWave. What I do like about LifeWave is that they, and again, I'm going to put the links in the bottom of this video. Anyone's interested, you know, all the links about what we're talking about as far as the product, the book, where you get products, and as well as contact information, because there'll be some things that you may get confused about what you want to get if you decide to get some LifeWave products. So I will help you through that. But um, I lost my thought.
Well,
But anyway,
I'm gonna say
I
this
want.
though. I I really, even though I've been through it, and even I don't make the most amount of money. I'm not
Mhm.
I'm not the richest person. Um, but LifeWave really, even it may not seem affordable or something you need, but I will say I'll forego coffee or I'll forego buying that core water that, I'll just shop a little less just to be able to make it affordable for me because it's an important product. And it's not only an important product just to have, it enhances your life naturally. It uses your own body to repair itself. And that's the most important thing that I've learned from taking this product because, as I said, I'm not one to just buy light in a bottle. But for someone who really has had some anguish, this is a really good way to get your body and mind on track without without it being so costly.
Well, that's good because I was going to ask you, what do you think is a costly product? What are your views on that? Um, and I like to know. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I have some. I put some things on my site, less than a cup of coffee a day, and it can be less that, but
Oh, definitely.
a
Most
cup of coffee,
definitely.
yeah, a cup of coffee
I
can be
mean,
expensive to some people. So,
I'll forego Starbucks and go to Dunkin' Donuts.
okay.
It's coffee. It's coffee.
So,
I'll do it. I'll
yeah.
do it just to have it. And it has really been, I have not been using it for an extensively long time.
Mhm.
So in just this amount of time that I've used it, it has just made such a impact on my life. So if I could tell your viewers anything, it would be don't look, don't look at this, don't look at that. Just look at the fact that you're going to be healing yourself once you try this product.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. And again, that is why I don't do notes. I don't do any practice sessions, which is what I was beginning to say, because I wanted to be natural. And I thank you for that information. Um, I don't try to, I don't want people I don't want to be scripted. I want people to go from the
Mm-hmm.
heart. Even if they mess up in their speech, which I'm always messing up on a podcast show. I mean, I am. So,
You just
I mean,
hanging
I'm going to
loose.
mess
You just
up.
hanging loose.
Yes, I flub, I do all
You're
this. So one day, but anyway, but I want to be natural because I want people to know that they can get some help, and and I'm not trying to, you know, there's a way, and we'll talk about this where you can do what you get in those patches. LifeWave does something where you can get them for free.
Mm-hmm.
They have a program for that. So, and I'll share that with anyone. So
Yeah.
I mean, they have that. So at least you can get some of them, a great majority of them, or the really important ones. So they're not gonna give away the farm, but they'll help you because it's huge. And a lot of people haven't heard of LifeWave. A lot of people haven't heard of stem cell patches because of the fact that they're in other countries. They're mostly in 100 different countries, over 100 different countries. They do have offices here in the United States, but in over 100 different countries. But as a distributor, I'm able to actually help people um, get the help they need without wasting money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to do. And so that's why I come I'll come behind the scenes to help people, which most people that do stuff online don't. But I'm going to come behind the scenes because this is just too serious. And even if we have to hire staff that will do that, but because this is really important, and it's not a lot of money, especially when you can compare it to what it costs to get medical treatment. I mean,
Well, you know what, Steve? I'll say this. Let's go back to what I said. Um, you know the amount of medication they put you on when you have stroke?
when you have what a
When you have a
stroke?
stroke, the amount of
No,
medication they put you on?
no, I don't know the amount of it.
I was on at one time 8 different medications.
Really?
Yeah. So if you think about how much those medications cost and compare it to LifeWave, and this is just to get my even a piece of focus back from having those strokes.
Wow.
So anybody who's had this situation understands that you're on a lot of medication. It's a lot of medication. So if you think about not having to even take half of those medicines because you're on these patches to heal yourself, the cost savings is astronomical.
Never thought about that. And I never even thought to ask you that question. So
It's
thank you
astronomical.
for sharing that. I mean, yeah, that's got to be astronomical because I know you have copays, you have
Oh yeah,
things you pay, but even collective copays will be more than the patches. So
e-
um,
exactly.
and some of those medications are very expensive. You
Yeah,
know,
and they're harsh on your system. So if you think about your
yes,
body healing itself and not having to be on these medications that ultimately they want to get you off of because it will harm you if you continuously take them.
yeah,
They wean you off of them. But just in the just in that aspect of it, You know, it's just it's overall just, if you really think about the benefits of the whole thing, it's just mind-boggling,
Wow.
completely mind-boggling.
Wow. Well, Stephanie, I want to thank you for sharing your information, your experience. You shared a lot more than I thought would be shared. I mean, you really, really, I did not know some of what you were experiencing and what you had experienced. I want to thank you for sharing that with the audience so that
You're
they can
welcome.
benefit. Thank you so, so much. It's so,
You're welcome.
thank you. It's so important. So, so I hope that you all have appreciated this information, this testimonial, this experience that this young lady came on and shared a part of her life with us so that we can see how we can better ourselves. And that's what we try to do at People's Depot. We want to help people in every way we can through business, starting, growing, and even in personal matters such as this. It's not often that you can find a product that can help to this extent, what we've talked about, and yet be able to grow it as a business. That's not often. So many of you know that I have this fondness for gold and silver, and that's been a lot of what we talk about. And so I want to thank you for allowing me to share your time to be coming to your home through this format and share what I have to say. And all I have left to say is, see you later.